The recent account of a 12-year-old Thai girl who was sold in Japan by her own mother provides a glimpse into the reality of human trafficking. The girl's mother had said they were taking a trip together to Japan, but once in the country, her mother disappeared, leaving her to work at an illegal sex parlor on the 7th floor of a multi-tenant building in Tokyo. 3 months later, the girl was rescued after escaping, and reportedly pleaded, "I want to go home. I want to see my grandpa, grandma and little sister." Human trafficking, often called modern-day slavery, affects children even in Japan. In a room in a multi-tenant building. The parlor where the girl was forced to work is in an 8-story building near Tokyo Metro's Yushima Station in the capital's Bunkyo ward. There was no signboard, just a piece of paper taped to the dirty entrance door that read, "Thai Home Massage." In November, the Metropolitan Police Department (MPD's) security section arrested Masayuki Hosono, 51, who managed the private room massage parlor, Relax Time, on suspicion of violating the Labor Standards Act for violating the minimum age for employment. Hosono allegedly forced the Thai girl to work at the parlor and perform sexual massages for a month, starting on the day she had arrived in Japan. The MPD did not disclose whether the suspect had admitted to the allegations, but the girl's pained account speaks volumes. Mother. It ends when you make them ejaculate. The girl is from northern Thailand. Her father had passed away, and she lived with her grandparents and younger sister, attending middle school. Her mother, who she had heard was working as a masseuse overseas, appeared before her in June this year. They had hardly spent any time together, but her mother said, "We will go to Japan together and work." The girl was put on a plane and arrived in Japan on June 27, heading straight to the parlor with her mother from the airport. Her mother then instructed her to use a professional name, adding, "When a customer comes, start rubbing their genitals about 20 minutes before the time you're told. It ends when you make them ejaculate." After one night together, her mother vanished. "I don't want to do this." The parlor's website listed prices at 60 minutes, 6,000 yen, about $39, and 120 minutes, 10,000 yen, around $65. Though it advertised Thai massage courses, the place was in fact an illegal sex parlor in a prohibited area. Customers communicated with Hosono by mobile phone and were guided to the parlor. Male strangers asked her to do things a very far cry from massage. "I don't want to do this," she thought. Yet she could not disobey her absent mother's words, "You stay and work." She endured. Money that went to her mother. The girl was made to live in a corner of the kitchen. When working, some men demanded intercourse as part of the service, but she reportedly refused that. 2 weeks after being abandoned, her mother finally came to the parlor and told the girl, "I'm going back to Thailand with this child tomorrow. You stay here, but I'll come back to pick you up." Her mother was holding an unknown baby. Then, in July, she returned to Thailand without her daughter. In reality, part of the girl's earnings was being transferred from Hosono to an account in the name of her mother's partner. "My mother told me to stay and work, and I hated it, but I thought, this is for the family's livelihood," the girl recalled. This is how she was sold. Human trafficking in Japan continues to rise. The MPD continues to investigate, believing a broker organization facilitated the mother's entry into Japan and introduced her to the parlor. According to the International Organization for Migration, an estimated 50 million people worldwide are victims of human trafficking for forced prostitution or labor. Many cases cross borders, and the 2025 edition of the U.S. State Department's annual report points out that international criminal organizations profit from these activities. This recent incident highlights that part of this occurs in Japan. According to Japan's National Police Agency, the number of human trafficking victims in Japan, which was 37 in 2020, continued to rise, reaching 63 in 2024. Among them, 2 to 11 were foreign nationals, and more than half of the Japanese victims were under 18. The U.S. State Department's report states that in Japan, law enforcement continued to identify hundreds of children exploited in the commercial sex industry without sufficient screening for trafficking indicators, which allowed a majority of child sex traffickers to operate with impunity. The report adds, the government maintained insufficient victim protection efforts. The most prevalent and severe form of human trafficking targets children and women for sexual exploitation. According to a 2024 United Nations report, 38% of the world's victims are children, many of whom are forced into sex work. The Thai girl now. The number of victims contrasts sharply with the overwhelmingly few that investigative authorities can apprehend. The interior of the private massage parlor. The interior of the private massage parlor, Relax Time, is seen in this image taken from the business website. The U.S. State Department's report states, trafficking in persons, including forced labor and sex trafficking, is often a hidden crime, operating largely out of public view. The recent incident came to light after the girl escaped on her own. Though her mother had disappeared, she could communicate with her via smartphone. However, after being reported by another parlor employee for not working seriously, she escaped. She worked at another parlor introduced by her mother, but her desire to return home grew. The messages from her mother were always, "Work," and "I'll come to get you." After this happened several times, the girl realized her mother would never come for her. In September, she apparently went alone to the Tokyo Regional Immigration Services Bureau in the capital's Minato ward to seek help. Her duration of stay was up to 15 days, which she knew had long expired. "I was scared to come here. But I really want to go home. I want to see my family and go back to school," she said. She was quickly taken into protective custody, and is now receiving mental care. She is expected to return home at some point in the future. Her mother, who was supposed to have returned earlier, was detained by authorities in Taiwan earlier this month. She is also believed to have been involved in prostitution in Taiwan.